Alrighty. So last time, the majority of you had met up with Iris after enjoying kind of a half beach day, and Iris informed you that Sijorn would be arriving here soon, and that she would arrange a meeting between you guys and him. But some Sith apprentices had arrived on the planet as a scouting trip to try and locate you all. So you went down to intercept them and eliminate them, while Iris worked her magic to more or less erase them from having existing on the planet at all. Um, in the process, Ven had gotten fairly hurt. She actually got knocked down and now has a lovely scar across her abdomen. And so after completing that quest and dealing with that rather rough fight, you guys went back to the Peachy to wait for the following day for Sijorn to arrive. So we will begin this session with the following morning as you guys kind of are getting prepped to go meet Iris at the cantina and wait for the inevitable arrival of Sijorn.
Hot Space Boys.
Yeah.
Well, just boy right now.
Hot Space Boy.
There you go.
Ew, are you guys talking about Io that way? Weird.
I was gonna say, right now you just know Io, and he's pretty hot, so you can just from there assume that his twin must be equally hot.
By a scientific deduction.
Do we know that you guys are like identical twins? Or like twins that say we're twins, but you're like, y'all don't look alike.
Iris did say that they looked very, very strikingly similar, so.
That's fair. Oh, guys, you know what else I found in the market here? Yeah,
A house?
they have spray butter here. It's amazing. Yeah, I'm putting it on my sandwich. It's so much easier. It takes 2 seconds. It's amazing. I love it.
Why do I feel like out of character? Why do I feel so much rage when we talk about spray butter? I just hate it.
Rachel's triggered by spray butter.
I am.
No, the Jedi Order frowns upon spray butter.
It's forbidden.
It is forbidden. Spray butter leads to the dark side.
Gary take 2 sprays and then electrifies the sandwich to make it into a panini.
Good.
Oh, the sandwich 6.
Why do you always go Davy Jones with it?
That was the Emperor.
That was
for
100% Emperor.
Davy
Jones.
at the end of it.
So, could somebody quickly tell me where we are? Because I had to go for the last part.
We're inside our ship.
Yep, you're in the ship on Rishi.
On the Peachy.
And Sijorn
Super great
is...
ship, best ship in the world, in the universe.
The Sijorn is coming to the planet. Did Iris say where exactly was he gonna go see her?
Yes, he was going to meet with her because she had informed him there was something he needed to be made aware of and to more or less arrive, come to Rishi as soon as he could, and he was going to meet up with her at her cantina.
Okay, gotcha. So that's kind of where it potentially might go down, as long as Iris is okay with, her entire bar being destroyed potentially.
Yeah, she's prepared for this and has asked you guys to arrive. Theoretically, before Sijorn does, so that you guys have the cantina to yourselves. God damn it!
Yeah. Okay, that sounds good. So how long till he's supposed to get here? Like how long do we have?
You have, at this point, once you guys have gotten all ready and started heading to the cantina, you have about an hour.
Okay.
Io is trying to amp himself up for a family reunion with a family that he didn't know he had, and he does, and he's like, "Oh Lord."
So confused. Yeah, does he seem nervous?
There's so much confusion. Very.
Oh,
He's
man.
kind of like pacing, and like all the cats are following behind him in a line everywhere he goes. It's like Terabyte, then Mimi, then Zeke are all walking with their little tails in the air behind him. It's a little parade.
Oh, it's really cute.
Io, you look great. You might want to brush your teeth, but you look great.
Oh boy.
Thanks, Fury.
Oh boy. Here we go
You're
again.
welcome. Just hey, I'm looking out for you.
Well, I mean, I guess somebody has to. I can only do so much myself. You can't see.
Mira is walking around the ship looking to see if there's other things that she can upgrade before this.
Frantically upgrading.
All of them. Must upgrade. Must upgrade. Must upgrade.
Oh, Mira, if you want to upgrade my blasters.
Yeah, I would love to.
Yeah.
I don't think I've upgraded your blasters at all before, huh?
No, they're pretty shitty.
They are. That's okay. I can make them so much better.
Thank you.
I will take Viri's blasters and head towards the back of my ship where my work table is.
I try and follow, but then the metal plate illusion shows up again. Shit. Okay. Never mind. Good luck.
Sorry. Here, hold on. I can deactivate it for you real quick. And she'll go over and unplug it from the wall. Just click.
Weirdest thing in the world.
I love it.
Sorry, I turned on the Mandalorian music in the background. It's perfect.
Oh, that's a good idea. I'm gonna do that too.
It's like totally perfect for the
Yeah,
PCP
no, that's a
right
great
now.
idea. I'm
Has
confident.
70 songs.
X30 Lancer Precision Blast Pistol. Have you already used the hard points that are on it?
I don't think so. Maybe.
I'm gonna say probably not.
No, I see on here you have a suppressor on it. That's a hard point.
Maybe.
Use the hard point to make it superior. And then you use 3 hard points for a blast actuating module.
Oops.
So you
Just kidding.
have used all of those. Okay. I can make improvements.
Why can't I link it anymore? Oh.
Oh yes.
So, since
Is it
Fury's blasters are getting upgraded, what are the rest of you doing to prepare for this meeting?
Yeah, I mean, I would probably just be trying to mentally prepare and try and be thinking of different things to do in case things go wrong. If that makes sense.
Ben, don't forget to eat. You always forget to eat before a fight. You need your calories. Oh, it's a picture of us on roll 20.
So cute.
Ooh.
Ben probably
I
does
was
grab some food after Viri reminds her. She did.
Yeah, just oh shit.
Dang, the little shit's right.
Gotta give her some credit where it's due.
I can see her in front of her, like, I know that, Viri. I'm quite prepared. Oh, okay, fine. Turns around. Dang it. Walks over to the fruit.
Oh yeah. I'll roll
Yeah,
some
but that's mostly what I'm
dice.
doing.
Okay.
Yes.
And what is still doing to prepare for this meeting?
Going to buy new gun. Uno momento.
Okay. I didn't realize that.
I didn't know Del spoke other languages.
Sí, y igualmente, por favor, uno más, más soleto.
No hablamos español. Tú habla inglés, por favor.
Oh, sí. ¿Cuál es la baño? Tú es.
Why did you
Fuck
say
is
that?
Really?
The fuck is going on right now? I'm so
I
confused.
don't know.
I said, yeah, about the same. I don't really know a whole lot. Maybe just a little bit. Where's the bathroom? Oh, 2 doors down? Thanks.
100% very.
That's pretty much all I know.
All right. So, like I said, walking to the game doesn't take very long, but I expect you guys had wanted to get there early enough before Sijorn would arrive. So once you guys have gotten your preparations done, gotten the stuff that you wanted to buy done, and all that fun stuff, you make your way as a group to the cantina. And once again, you are greeted by the guards for Iris, and they just kind of nod to you in greeting, but they look a little bit more tense than they were the last time you were here. It seems that this meeting generally kind of keeps her people on edge. Can't imagine why.
I mean, it's so hard to know these days.
I know, crazy. But by the time you guys arrive, you have about a half an hour to settle in. But Iris kind of waves you guys over to her large booth that she's sitting in, and just kind of gestures for you guys to order drinks or food, whatever you would like, and just make yourselves comfortable. She looks both excited and nervous at the same time.
Io is definitely getting a drink. Well, we'll also kind of like looking at Iris like, huh? Why are you nervous? Yeah, you're excited, but are you nervous because of what we might do? Or what he might do?
She's not nervous. She just really wants some.
Hmm.
I'll get a double. Thank you.
Lord. Iris kind of blushes at that and rolls her eyes at Viri before she turns to you, Io, and she goes, well, not so much worried about how either of you will react, more so that I didn't exactly tell him why I was calling him here. So I'm not sure how he'll respond to just kind of the surprise. You have a twin?
I mean, it's probably wise that you did that. The news might throw him off enough to give us a better chance of him listening.
We're hoping.
I guess we'll see. And at that point, kind of a little beep goes off, and she kind of pulls out her data pad, and her eyes widen a fraction before she goes, oh, well, he's early. She kind of looks up at you all and goes, you have about 5 minutes before he walks through the door.
I just have to say, the Mandalorian's like main theme song started right as that happened. It was making it very dramatic.
Mira's gonna hear that we only have 5 minutes, and she will quickly excuse herself to go to the little Twi'lek's room. As per the ship rules.
Viri will probably find like somewhere on the bar across from Iris and Io, just to look like she's not with them, but like across and can see a good point of view. And then about a good 2.5 minutes in of like awkward silence, everyone gets really alerted because you just hear a blaster fire. Nice. And then you hear a glass breaking. Viri trying out her new blaster really quick before he shows up.
I'll be back, I'm sorry, but Dell's gonna stand by the door like a bouncer.
I
I'll look at Io and say, do you want me to stay with you, or do you want me to be off at a different corner?
I mean, I thought we were all gonna be here, not spread out. I thought the whole point was we were trying to get info from him.
Yeah,
I mean, I was
stay.
just meeting my brother. You guys wanted info.
I didn't know if you wanted privacy first, but no, I'll stay if you want me to.
And you probably don't want to make him seem like he's being ambushed. And you're meeting your brother, so that's why we're sitting over here.
I was kind of like looking at where everyone is. He's like, this alone doesn't seem like an ambush. Okay.
Considering you guys are the only ones in the cantina? Yeah. Also, I love the fact that Viri could have used her comms to speak, but instead yelled across the empty cantina.
Like as Sijorn's walking in, we don't want it to seem like an ambush.
Oh, the birds in the nest! The birds in the nest! Guys, are my comms on? I feel like I'm hearing echoing.
I have a quick question.
Denied.
So mean.
Could Mira have upgraded Dell's gun? Only you can upgrade the hard points.
Possibly. Rob is AFK right now. So go ahead and ask it in Roll20 or chat, and he'll get back to you when he gets back.
Okay. Oh no, I'm into.
All right. So
And I guess I'll say into the comms, all right, everyone. Just remember, we're trying to make him our ally, not antagonize him. If it comes to it, then fine, but
why
Why are you looking at me when you're saying that?
I'm not looking at anyone in particular.
I mean, you were looking at me, though.
Just Ven staring very down. Like she's leaned over the bar.
You
Right.
and maybe a few others in our party may be prone to doing that. So sure.
Lies. I make friends wherever I go. Right, Iris? Are you ready for a big night?
I plead the fifth.
I mean, she is. Oh, so you want us over there? Like, Viri just like grabs her chair and drags it over to you guys.
It just
Why do I
squeals
feel like
loudly as it's dragged across the canteen floor.
yeah, it's like that 1 minute of silence except for the chair being dragged slowly across the floor.
Everyone just watches Viri drag her across the floor.
Oh yeah.
She could have used the force. Probably could have lifted it up, but she didn't.
But she didn't. Okay, other than like you guys collectively as a group, Iris and there's guards outside the door, there's guards inside the door, there's a couple spotted throughout the cantina and the bartender. Other than that, there's nobody here. It is dead quiet. So yes, as you're dragging the freaking chair across the cantina, the bartender and all the guards inside are just watching you and just like slowly following you, just watching you drag it across. And they just have like neutral expressions on their face because they can't fucking believe what they're watching.
leave the credits at the bar when I lean over and grab the whole bottle, and then bottle under my neck, continue to drag the chair.
There's like 5 seconds of silence as that's happening, and then it continues. When you get to the booth, Iris just kind of smirks and points, and there's like a chair like a foot away from you. That's empty.
Yeah, for the twin. Silly guys. I don't think
Points
about it.
to like the empty spot on her left.
Oh, I didn't see that one. I'll just put it back, and then she uses the force to float it back.
For a minute, when you say that you'll put it back, like anyone who's watching, the bartender and the rest of them, they kind of cringe for a second to prepare for the noise, but it doesn't happen. And then they just look like, oh, thank God.
And then she sits down and then nods over at Ben. Yep, we won't make a big deal. Let's do this.
Io just kind of like rubs his face like, oh no.
That embarrassing moment when you're about to introduce your friends to your family. Yeah.
You're the
I
one
mean,
that
at
asked us
this
to be at
point,
the
they're
table.
families.
You could have had us on the other side of the bar, but nope, you wanted us at the table.
Well, I didn't expect you. Well, you know what? I should have expected you to do something like that. I know you. But I still was surprised by the chair dragging.
Gotta keep everyone on their toes.
Ben's just really quiet and looks really focused. She's not even like listening to any of this banter.
Like staring at the doorway.
Yep.
Fear's got headphones in of like this really cool new show on StarTube that just came out. Seriously, guys, I don't know how you haven't seen season 1 yet.
Ben just looks at her.
I could give you my sign-in, but whatever.
Pay attention. This is not exactly the time to be watching a show.
I'm not watching. I'm listening to the music. It's really hyping up the moment for me.
Oh my god.
So many fourth wall breaks.
I know, right?
It's killing me.
It's more like a 3.5. I'm bringing the fourth wall into the third wall. You know, I'm making it part of the narrative.
That makes no
Like-
sense.
Like 1.5 Jedi.
How rude.
Oh boy.
So you
My
cannot deny the accuracy of behind that.
Oh
Alright.
boy.
Oh boy.
All right.
So,
So
where is
after
everybody
all-
in the bar?
they are at the big booth that Iris is sitting at, except for Del. Del's pretending to be a bouncer for some reason.
Oh, okay.
Because big Mandalorian boy.
Mira is gonna go to the bar and sit down and ask for apple juice.
I was so expecting a hot cocoa, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Mixed it up today.
Oh. We're pulling a Jan today.
Not quite.
Not quite. But yeah, you guys kind of eventually get settled in, and what was kind of an on-edge atmosphere is kind of relaxed, you know, with Viri's antics and everything. And you guys just kind of engage in some light banter, not really talking about anything important, but Iris kind of looks up at the doorway, and as you all follow to look, because her expression pretty much told you all that you needed to know, because her face kind of lit up. But as you look towards the door, you see Io, but not Io. He's got a lot more scars, and
What?
his outfit's a little bit different. A lot bit different. And he seems to kind of have a backpack on.
Aya, when do you go outside? Oh shit, twins, right?
I'm right next to you, Miri.
I forgot.
God.
Io, you cloned
Hold on
yourself?
1 second.
I was just staring at him, like, oh my god. For what he can see a face anyway. It's like, wow, it's like what I kind of sort of see of myself.
Iris kind of gets up at that point. Sorry, DM needs to learn how to swallow then breathe. It's an art.
I come
it's an
back.
art.
I come back to hear DM needs to learn to swallow.
And breathe. And breathe. There was a second part to that sentence.
Okay.
There's a reason why these videos are not rated for the children's. But yes, Iris kind of gets out of her booth and slides over and makes a beeline towards the Io, but not Io. And you see them kind of engage in a conversation, kind of close. You don't necessarily see any physical interaction, but there's something there. And they kind of talk for a few brief seconds before the duo make their way over to the booth with the rest of you. And she kind of looks at you, Io, and kind of gestures for you to get up as she's walking over. And when the two of them close the gap, she looks at you, Io, and she goes, Io, might I introduce you to Sijorn? Sijorn, this is your twin brother, Io. And she just kind of steps off to the side to let the two mirror images look at each other and just kind of absorb what they're seeing. You guys are seeing the pilot you know and like an alternate universe pilot. It's very weird, and you guys are not drunk enough to see this shit.
Io is looking visibly like shocked and surprised as he's just kind of like staring at Sijorn, sort of like leaning back a little bit, like he's trying to process everything. Sijorn, meanwhile, is standing like totally rigid, hands clasped behind his back, and just staring at Io with like no visible expression. Before he just ever so slightly turns his head to look at Iris like, the fuck? But only she picks up the fuck part of that.
She kind of has a shading grin on her face at that point. Because she understands. To the rest of you, it's just kind of a confused head tilt. And again, she gestures between the two of them and she goes, yeah, remember how I told you I found something out about you that you might want to know? This, and she gestures to Io in his entirety, is what I meant. You have a twin. Just like I did.
Oh, boy.
Fury's
He's
trying so
silent.
hard not to say anything. You can see her visibly biting her lips.
Io can just sense it.
Then like kind of pats her on the shoulder, like very slightly, like you're doing great. Type of a pat.
She leans over and whispers, "He looks like an Io that got fucked."
You get a barely amused side glance,
Okay,
but
okay.
it is amused.
You can see her relax that she was able to get that out.
She had to tell someone.
After like much stuttering and like trying to think of what to say, Io just kind of like holds his hand out. It's like, "Hi, pleased to meet you." Sijorn just sort of gives it a look and then like looks back up at his face and doesn't take his hand. He ignores it.
Oh Oh
That's
no.
awkward.
And I was just like,
Left it
okay
hanging.
then, no handshaking, I get it. This is awkward.
Iris just kind of gives a very heavy, defeated sigh. She does not seem on edge or worried at all. Just kind of a really sigh before she looks at Sijorn and she goes, "You're supposed to shake it and be nice."
He just makes a little noise and then moves over to sit down. He's processing in his own way.
Again,
You-
Iris kind of gives a sigh. Her seat beside Sijorn.
I was just like, still trying to process the, oh my god, there was somebody who looked like me just standing in front of me just now. But he quickly takes a seat at the table too, probably on the other side of Iris.
Iris is surrounded by two hot space boys.
I mean, it's not a bad place to be.
No, it really is not. It's a pretty good place. But she kind of nods to the rest of you, and she goes, "The rest of these guys are your brother's crew. You'll have to forgive Sijorn. He's not a man of many words." And she kind of gives him a look that would be irritating, like that she was irritated, but there's kind of a softness to it too.
Oh no, why did everything go silent?
We're all
I think we're all
processing.
waiting for Sijorn to do something.
I thought it was Discord for a hot second. Sorry.
Yeah, like it
Uh,
went so quiet. I was like, oh no, did my internet crash again? I was waiting for more.
And then she kind of gestures to all of you to introduce yourselves to the quieter version of Io.
Hi, I'm Io's bestest friend, Beery. And she like goes to put her hand out and then moves to dab and then shake it and then that's right. You don't do that. That's okay. I didn't do that in the beginning either. Let's work on you.
He's just like watching her, just like, okay then. It's very, very grim expression.
I guess it must be in the blood that you both like fancy visors then. That's cool. Got things in common already.
Del, what's the name of the woman who brought us together?
Iris.
Angie,
Iris,
she's
Del-
the DM. Sorry.
Twixie. Del
Smart
is,
ass
like,
bitch.
Del is basically giving her Del's giving her like a don't mention me sort of look, like I'm not here, like I'm not a part of that, just so he can say like anonymous for now.
Okay. She will give the briefest of nods to show that she understands, but looks at the rest of you that are at the table with them to introduce yourselves.
Yeah, I'll just say pretty simply, I'm Ben.
I know you.
I figured you did.
At this point, it's hard not to.
Hmm. Yeah, I heard you work. I don't know how closely with him, but it seems like he's telling everyone these days. So
He just gives us a like very small nod, Like, yep, he's definitely telling everyone. Like, he kind of like just glances around the bar, just like taking in everyone else who isn't at the table, just in that making sure he knows where people are kind of thing.
Oh yeah, because Mira isn't with us either, is she?
No,
She
she's
came
outside
back.
of her apple juice.
Mhm.
Okay. So the only people making introductions are just the ones at the table. Basically.
Yeah,
Very
Del was
awkward.
trying to act like he's just a regular bouncer.
Okay. Did you have any idea that you had a brother?
No. As far as I knew, I was by myself. He's like, gives Iris another look.
She just kind of shrugs one shoulder. Like I said, this is something I recently found out. Look, I am a purveyor of information. It's what I do.
And you're very good at it, iOS.
Thank you, Io. And she just kind of gives Sijorn a C look.
He just like barely raises one eyebrow at her.
So
That's so awkward. I love it.
what's it like being a Sith? Is it fun? She probably gets a couple of glances. Looks back down.
Iris just immediately gives a sigh and is like rubbing the bridge of her nose with
I mean,
two
there's no
fingers.
point beating around the bush, right? We all know who each other are, right?
He's just staring at Veery in like stony silence.
She's giving that like smile, and it's like waiting for a response and not getting one, so it's becoming awkward. I mean, if you ever want to spar, I like sparring. We could like show each other tricks or stuff.
Perhaps.
Nice.
That was all she needed.
Veery sees the first crack. That's all
Right?
she needed.
You assume it's a crack.
Boy.
Super tempted to strike at you right now and see your reaction, but I don't think that'd be appropriate. But it'd be fun. I think we'd be really fun to learn each other's moves. I mean, I think that's a blast. That's my favorite thing to do.
It's like, does Io seem like frozen?
He is. He's just kind of like, oh my god. Why
You're
are
like,
you
yeah, man.
asking this?
Yeah. Well, Daniel is like the glancing at Io, like waiting for him to say more stuff, but he keeps like just kind of sitting there. So she's
Yeah,
she
and
kinda,
Veery's
like-
just filling the silence.
yeah. So like, I guess Dan will kind of like elbow Sijorn a little bit under, or not Sijorn, Io. See, already I'm getting the twins mixed up. Io under.
I was about to say, I was like, oh shit.
And
The twins, don't you mean Hot Space Boys?
Exactly.
HSBs?
Rolled over 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, can we say HSB? That's so fun.
There you go. Yeah, sure. What the hell?
Say HSBs.
Yeah, Veery goes to make a text message to Mira, and she's typing, they totally are hot space boys, but then it accidentally does voice to text. They are definitely hot space boys. Oh, shit. Sorry. You do look good, though. I guess that means you do too? Oh, that's just
Aya's
weird.
just kind of like got his head propped up in his hand on the table, like his hand is forward, like, oh god.
So I'm gonna go get drinks. I'll be back.
Please.
Even though there's a full bottle on the table with empty
Yep.
drinks.
You know, she's just expecting a lot more drinking to happen.
Apparently.
So, how was the flight in? It sounded like it took a while.
Iris has 100% face palm.
Oh my god.
Io's never encountered family, okay? You know
never
how
thought
awkward
Io
he
could
was
be
with the crew
awkward.
before.
We went from "Are you a Sith?" and "Is it cool?" all the way back to "How is the weather?" and the flight in.
Awkwardness.
Hey, you guys know how
I am
kind of
looking
awkward
for
Io
that.
was when you first met him.
I love it.
It takes him a bit to find the groove when talking to people.
Absolutely love
It's
it.
even more awkward because he's like, this dude looks like me.
Before like Sijorn even answers, because Ben's already picking up, he's not a small talk type of guy. She says Io also didn't know that he had any family.
Hmm. And he like then looks at Iris. I assume you found out certain aspects of why we didn't know that we had siblings.
You would be correct. I already told Io, but when you were young, you come from a rather wealthy family on Coruscant, and the two of you were abducted. It sounds like you were to be used as a bartering chip for your parents, but something went awry, and as a result, the two of you were separated. And I know about your past and where you come from, but Io was taken in by a group of smugglers, and he's become a rather impressive pilot.
I see. There's just like Iris can probably feel it the most, but there's just kind of like this low simmering anger at finding out that he used to have a great family and then he got abducted and then abandoned. And that's where everything happened to him from. He's not happy. But to everyone else, you both basically just see him like kind of tilt his head in a way that sort of looks like he's a little angry, but it's like not visible, like not like extreme frowning or anything.
Like he's gonna toss a table or something.
Right.
No, it's just a very low simmer.
Iris kind of gives like a slight wince before she quickly kind of regains her facial composure. And she just
So-
kind of lets a few moments pass to kind of let Sijorn absorb that information.
So even though we may be on opposite sides of this, we thought it would be good to fix some of the things that have been wronged in the past and try to reunite the two of you.
I just kind of like flashes a grin at Sijorn, who just stares back at him.
How you doing?
Almost.
I am living for the brothers for their polar opposite behaviors. It's great.
Well, is this the business you called me here for, Iris? He asks as he delicately picks up a drink and drinks it. Whatever happened to be on the table, he just took it.
Probably whiskey because that's Iris's drink of choice.
He just steals her drink.
She kind of rolls her eyes when he does before sighing at his question. And she goes, yes and no. You know, of course, that while on my planet, everyone who's here is kind of neutral ground. As in, you're not gonna go running back to Isaidus and tell him that his wife is here, correct? And she gives him kind of this firm look.
I have no reason to do so, so why would I?
You wouldn't have a reason to do it? Why would that be the case?
He's losing his edge, and my term of employment with him will be coming to an end soon. Oh, I feel no need to share certain aspects of what I learn with him.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been picking up on that as well. Not that I've seen him, but so you're planning on leaving anyway?
At some point, yes, when the opportunity arises to do so.
Does Sith like spotchka? And Viri like pops up and puts down a drink in front of him, and then starts passing out drinks. Just, I mean, Sijorn, if you like, if I don't know what you drink, I'm gonna leave you guys to it. And goes back to Mira.
Mira's playing waitress.
Right?
Love it.
And then she'll just be watching to see if Sijorn drinks this spotchka.
What is spotchka anyway?
I don't know. I looked it up. Beverage that could be created from the creatures known as krill could be found in Sorgan, brewed by the resident farmers of an isolated farming village. I don't know. I just looked up beverages. Take it to the Mandalorian.
He's currently content drinking the glass of whiskey he stole from Iris. That's very casually picked it up.
If you don't have much allegiance to Isaidus anymore, would you mind telling me a bit about what's going on with him? Or is that off the table?
He kind of sort of lightly swirls the drink, contemplating. What would you like to know? Anything specific?
Well, I mean, you said yourself it's clear he's losing his edge. It seems like it happened fast, from what I can tell. Do you have any idea why that would be?
I'm not particularly certain, but he's increasingly frustrated and rather crazed that he hasn't been able to get his hands on you. So he's turned his attention to other things. Perhaps to try and take the edge off that.
Dang. Sorry, I was checking it out. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I'm
Turns
trying. I
out
can't
bad
multitask
beats.
very well. Let me read this stuff.
It's okay.
Let's see. Okay. Yeah, okay. So Ven just kind of leans forward a little bit and she says, all right, here's what some of us were hoping, especially Io. that you might consider leaving Isaidus maybe a little sooner than you planned, and maybe telling us what we need to know. We have money. We have a fair amount of ability. I've heard that's something you respect. I'm sure you heard what happened in Kashyyyk.
I did, yes. It was impossible not to. Io kind of chuckles off to the side like
Of course.
And you can get to know your brother, as Viri sits back down at the table. He's actually pretty cool. Savage. Scary at times. But pretty cool.
I see. I was just like grinning, like, oh yeah, I'm savage. He does like praise. It makes him feel so good.
Iris kind of pops up at this point, kind of nods to you, Io, and she goes, actually, he would be a formidable opponent if he were Sith or Jedi, from what I can tell. So
Oh no, you cut out.
Yeah.
what did you hear?
I heard up and he'd be a formidable opponent to Sith or Jedi, and then it like cut out after that.
Okay. After that, she said, it appears to run in the family.
Do you like cats?
He's just like, excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, are you a cat person? A dog person? Raptor person?
I'm a banshee person. And as
Oh.
if on cue, the backpack straps that you can see going over like the front of his shoulders shift a bit. And the backpack is not actually a backpack.
But
You
yeah,
see
What
this
the
like
shit?
Greg
nar-
decided to fuck off in this world.
You see
You're
his
like goes
little
for a blaster
face.
his
for a
internet said
second?
no.
You see
We're
this like little
going
face
over
kind
what
of
everybody
not little,
feels
with like this
per
really
Ben's
ugly face
racial
of an
ability.
Ambaran banshee
Um,
kind of peer
So
over his
yes, we got
shoulder.
to what Iris was
Jesus
feeling and what
Christ,
Viri was
is
feeling. So
that?
now we get to deal with
Iris,
what the hot space
who
boy
has-
was feeling.
Well, I missed what those two are feeling. So
Not
I'm
glass
crapped out
from
on
Sijorn's
me.
hand. And Viri just really, really wants to duel Sijorn, like really, really badly. No,
Like,
no
really
hatred
bad.
or anger to it. Just like I want to see his skills, like excited puppy type of thing. For Iris, she's nervous, she's worried, she's excited, she's a lot of different emotions, but
She's
the
not-
biggest one that Ben was able to feel was just
He says-
absolute happiness.
But I see their family. Io is currently feeling anxious and nervous and kind of like giddy, but also like kind of a little scared.
So-
'Cause it's like it doesn't feel real in a way.
Yeah. We
Can't
leave
see it, but
information
under
if
the
you
table, he's
would
kind of
rather not
nervously bouncing one
help
knee.
us. Yeah. Okay.
And Sijorn
Why did he
is
help us? What better do you have to do?
sorry, picture. Anyway, Sijorn is just there's a very like
We pick
low,
some sort of price to
persistent
start with and
kind
go
of
from there.
anger, sort of. But other than that, he's not really feeling much that he's expressing. To think about it, it's just very will get hard back to to read him because he just represses so much.
Even from himself.
We all look.
An hour
He's so deep.
works for me.
God.
He's so
pretty
emotionally-
impatient.
Unintelligent.
I would just wait when he
That's what I'm
actually
saying.
releases his hold on those emotions. Oh, it's not pleasant for anyone in the force.
Uh-oh, buddy. Okay, yeah, so he asked what? He asked for an hour to think about it?
Yes.
Which when
On
he did
Sijorn
that,
and what's
Iris
going
just kind
on
of raises her brow a
inside
little
his
bit
little
at
heart
him,
right
but
now. Is it?
otherwise doesn't say anything.
What is it?
It is
The whole hour?
I mean, you can take the time you need. I would. The thing I'll do occasionally is the emotional state of anyone within a short range. So probably I stayed in the cantina to think about it potentially.
Him.
Of course.
Wait, we're gonna sit here awkwardly for an hour and just not do
No,
anything.
I'm going
We
to
don't
move.
have. Yeah.
I'm going to move to a private booth. Think about it.
Not
All
because.
anxious.
Okay. Well, if you want
But
any of us
the
to join you
biggest
at the
one that you
private
see
booth, just let us know.
is that you can feel is
He just levels her a look that speaks of don't even think about it.
Racial
happiness.
trait. Vera leans over to Io. I just read mine myself. Look at it. I have a +1 to dodge. Cool.
Yes.
This is fun. I anticipate danger.
Are you trying to whisper in your mic and it's suppressing the
Where
noise?
did you
Probably.
find
I said- Relax me.
It cut out.
Stop thinking of the relax me. Why is it cutting
What?
out?
In the hot space
Is
voice.
it cutting out?
Yeah,
I mean,
we
not
gotta
when you
wait
talk
until
normally.
Lucy's internet
No.
comes back on.
Just said. I think she really likes me.
Oh!
Anticipation.
I'm sure, very.
Yeah,
I know.
Ven will just say, okay, I'll make sure no one bothers you. To Sijorn as he gets up.
He just kind of gives her the tiniest little of nods as he stands. And then he walks over to some far corner booth. And as he goes, Race wings kind of look like a bit of a dramatic cloak for him. And y'all get a better view of the banshee on his back.
What the heck?
Iris in her glass eyes and goes, "Of course, the asshole couldn't take it."
What? Sorry, you cut out a few times in that.
When she takes the glass back and sees what little of the whiskey is left in it, Iris kind of sighs and she just goes, "Of course, the asshole couldn't take it after drinking it."
Of course, it was her drink first at the start. It'd be rude to take all of it.
Yeah, I'm based like, you know, he gets his privacy, but I'm just watching the booth. Keeping my eye on it.
Staring at the hot space boy.
Just staring.
Wasn't there like a booth that had a curtain that could be closed?
HSB.
Technically, all the boots can, yeah.
Yeah, he closed the curtain.
Yeah, I mean, she
Yeah.
would full on be staring at him like unblinking, but
Io
definitely
could
keeping
probably
an eye
see
out.
through it.
Yeah, there you go.
Io and Sijorn just staring at each other for like an hour. Okay, I've decided we're good. Wait, what? We said everything we needed to say. What?
That twin telepathy shit. After Sierra kind of leaves, she turns to the rest of you and she goes, "Well, that went better than I anticipated."
Yeah, he seemed willing to talk. That was good.
Oh, that was tense. I've never
I
been
think he
so
likes us.
nervous.
Yeah, you lost a bit most of your words there, Io.
Don't
I mean-
let him intimidate you. He's always that way.
See, one of those people you have to just cheerfully talk at and just accept the silence.
He doesn't communicate very well verbally, but you learn to pick up things.
I kind of learned that with his twin too.
Oh, trust me, Io is far more chatty.
Okay.
You mean, wow, it's interesting to say that I'm a chatty person.
So you think that went well with how you know him.
Yes. Admittedly, I don't think he's too happy to know that he had a past, but he's taking it better than I anticipated.
That's good.
Well, I suppose Sith don't always have happy beginnings, do they? Like, there's reasons people become Sith, so probably wasn't happy to find out that it wasn't his choice that he ended up going that route. I mean, it wasn't my choice to be a feral child in the streets.
He definitely likes to have it his choice. He's not a follow blindly type.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say before I forgot, Del is wearing his Mandalorian armor.
Okay.
You've only seen him wear this once before. That was the day he found Drea.
Me.
He definitely doesn't look like a bouncer then.
Mandalorian
Well,
bouncer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mandalorians as bouncers.
Yeah. I mean, Mandalorians are pretty good for that, but he sticks out as a Mandalorian.
It's like, well, that's a new guy I've never seen here before.
Right?
Didn't know Iris was hiring Mandalorians.
The more you know. She does turn to look at you, Ben, and she goes, however, knowing that he's not quite so wrapped around Isaidus' finger as I had worried about, help. And knowing that you are safe here still helps.
What do you mean by that last part?
Because it means that I don't have to worry about a civil war coming onto this planet.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah, I'm relieved too. I mean, if you had mentioned he respects power, and if Isaidus's grip on his mind is slipping, it makes sense that he'd want to leave.
I am curious what he meant by Isaidus's looking at other avenues, though. But I'm sure that's something that we can figure out after an hour has come, or, well. But Sijorn, you let him approach you. Don't eye the clock.
Mira's
he's-
gonna send a message to Ben.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm typing it out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I could just say it if you want.
Yeah, I mean, you could just say it.
The message would just be, I just thought of something. Would Sijorn know if Isaidus has some way to forcibly make somebody dark side?
So then just replies back like, I'll add it to my list of questions. My mental list of questions.
Mm,
I just kind of was like looking at Iris, thinking about that "let him come to you" statement, and he's like, "So is it kind of like when you're trying to get Mimi to come to you, and she refuses, and the harder you try, the more she just keeps running further and further away. So you just like gotta ignore her till she comes and approaches you."
Pretty much, yes. He says give him an hour. It could be 15 minutes from now. It could be 2 hours from now. I don't know. But it's easier if you do not go to him and let him be. Just let him come to you when he's ready. And hopefully it's sooner rather than later. But I have no intentions of leaving the cantina yet. So if you guys have something you want to do, you're welcome to go do it. But otherwise, everything's on me.
I'm content to sit here and chill for a bit.
He can take as long as he needs.
Ven
I don't
catches
mind
Veery slowly, like moving her fingers to move the curtain with the force.
Yeah.
Just to peek in.
No, I would like
Oh, sorry.
Force
grab her
hacker
hand, put her down. Stop.
Sorry, just curious.
Yeah.
Make sure you didn't leave.
I
What
can
if
see
he
him,
did?
right? I mean, yeah, I see him through the curtain.
Yeah.
I don't 100% can see him through the curtains.
Don't worry, Viri, I always got him in his sights.
Oh, cool. I know your visor lets you see through the curtain.
What?
What?
He looks very confused at Fury.
I don't know. It's been a weird day. And then she gets up to get a new drink before letting that conversation finish. It is
Dell
not
is
time
gonna...
for Veery to learn. Oh, sorry. My bad.
That's okay. You finish your sentence.
No, I was just saying today's not the day Veery learns that he can't see.
Right.
It is not this day.
Today is not the day.
Dell is going to contact Mirror.
What's up, doll?
Are you alright?
I'm fine.
Can you prevent any...
No problems here.
Mirror, I'm being serious. What's wrong?
Nothing. I don't think I should have drank the scotch. This room is spinning.
Fuck. Can you block the communication coming from this cantina, please?
No problem.
I'll have to come up there and help you.
DM Miro would like to block communication coming from this city.
It is going to be a very hard pass. But
Sorry,
go ahead. You don't need computers.
This tavern, this bar, this inn thing, canteen. Yes,
Jesus Christ.
this place.
Go ahead and roll me a computer check.
Ends up only turning off the Peachy Keen's contacts.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a high difficulty roll, man.
Okay. Let's see here.
Can you guys hear that plastic?
A
Yes.
smidge.
Damn it. So I can't completely eat without being on mute.
Okay, 27.
I need to get that drawing printed.
Of the crew?
1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4, 5, 6.
Yeah, that'd be
So I was
cool.
thinking about what about the idea if we printed it out and then mailed it to each other to sign?
It's 5.
Ooh, we're not that
Fine.
famous yet, don't worry.
7.
Well, then we could copy it and then send it to each other. I'll have a signed
That'd
copy
be
of it.
amazing.
32
That's true.
Considering that Mira is apparently quite drunk, yeah,
She had one drink. But she's never
Yeah.
drank before, so.
yeah, that's why it's hitting her real hard, especially considering she went with the strong shit.
I was gonna say, if she like never drinks, how quickly does alcohol affect her?
Real quick. Yeah. Meanwhile, as the scene cuts away from the cantina back onto the ship. The lights are going on and off on the Peachy Keen, and Jax and Joseph are trying to figure out what the hell is going on. It's just the internal lights, though. It's like someone is flicking a light switch. But Mira, you think you did it?
All done.
Okay. It's done.
Can Dell check? Because he's like, something's up with Mirror, so I'm gonna just check if it actually is.
You dare to doubt my skills.
You don't know what's going on.
Okay.
So, so yeah, it's he's gonna basically send a message to Jax and see if it goes through.
Okay. What does the message say?
Mira has been drinking, so I asked to see if she could block the communications of this area. If this goes through, then we're gonna need some water when we get back.
There's a brief moment of no response, and for a moment you think maybe she did do it before a message comes back from Jax. And even though it's just in text, you can feel the mom vibes going. And all it says is, I swear to all the gods of the
Mira,
galaxy,
what the hell's wrong with y'all?
if my daughter gets hurt because somebody allowed a 16-year-old to drink, I will fillet you. Love, Jax.
It was at this point Dell learned of Mira's true age.
Like, huh?
It's gonna send a
Revelations
message.
abound today.
It's gonna send a message. 16? Question mark. 16? Question mark.
Just one
16
word comes back.
Dot.
Just one word comes back. Affirmative.
16.
Dell's gonna send Jax a message. Come collect your child. And that's it.
A simple response comes back, and all that you get, Dell, is Mama and Big Brother are on the way.
He's gonna send another message. Bring a comms dampener. I don't want anyone getting message out in this place.
And you just get an affirmative back in reply.
So Dell's going to basically move from his position. He's going to try and get an angle on the booth that Sijorn is sitting in to see if he's trying to contact anybody. Like if there's like a holotape on the desk and he's trying to talk to somebody.
Well, there's a curtain hiding him from view.
He's trying to like find the smallest crack in the curtain just to peek through.
If I see Dell doing that, I'll like message Dell in the comm and be like, Io can see through the curtain. He's monitoring it. Don't disturb him.
Io can't. And then he responds, but Io can't see holograms.
He can see him messing with something if he's going to mess with something. Like reaching for something. And then I'll lean over to Io and be like, what is he doing?
Yeah, Io can see it all. What's he doing?
Whereas Viri's probably going, oh my god, it's taking forever. It's probably only been 5 minutes.
He kind of like leans over to whisper to Ven. He's just sitting there with like this, and he like sort of demonstrates by like lacing his fingers together and kind of like resting his chin underneath them. Like, you know that like really thoughtful pose people do? That's like basically all he's
Yeah,
doing.
motionless. So
Yeah,
so like
he hasn't
then
moved.
then like points from across the room like to Dell like this to Io.
He hasn't
He looks
moved.
He looks at Io, tilts his head for a minute, and goes, Alexa, shut the fuck up. Alexa,
Does he say that really?
stop.
Alexis just wants to join the game. She's like, I heard there's droids in there. Do you need a droid?
Alexa, do you want to play Star Wars?
I can barely hear it in the background.
What? She was.
Matt, you're squirreling. What did you say? I just
Alexa said she can play Star Wars.
Hey, Dell.
Dell, what'd you say?
Alexa, stop. Alexa actually said, I'd love to. I have skills for that. Huh? I can play Darth Vader. Huh?
Lord.
Oh my
Alexa,
god.
good night.
Bum, 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 bum,
No, we're not squirreling here. No.
Okay.
Rachel has spoken. No
I've
squirreling.
spoken.
We don't want to
No
kill Craig
squirreling allowed.
Del looks at Io, and then looks at the curtain, and then looks at. Is he copying his brother? Or is his brother copying him? He shakes his head and rests back by the door, like leans against the wall.
I mean, technically, I was copying his brother because it's the easiest way to be like, this is what he's doing. And he hasn't moved since he sat down.
Love it. All right. So, in due time, Jax and Joseph do arrive. The rest of you were not expecting to see the two of them, but when they come in, Jax kind of looks up at Dell and gives him a glare before walking over to Mira.
Dell has failed.
Yeah. And you just kind of see Joseph pick up Mira because she's a tiny little thing and he has no issues with it.
Hi, big brother. When did you get here?
Joseph just kind of lets out an annoyed grunt and also tosses a glare at Dell before looking at the rest of you very disgruntled. And he kind of takes Mira in like his arms like bridal carry and just kind of carries her out of the cantina.
Wee.
Bye, Mira.
And Jax just kind of moves to walk out, but she
Hi,
hands you.
beautiful.
Oh,
that was
dear.
nice of her.
Jax slips you the requested item Dell before she walks off, but she kind of gives a sigh, and it's that mom sigh of now I have to go take care of my child.
I remember the first time I got drunk.
Dad's gonna sort of lean in to Jax and say, "Give her a kiss for me. Make sure she's got a teddy."
Of course, Dell. And she just kind of gives a knowing little smirk before she meanders out, tail swishing out the door.
Wish.
Yep.
I can imagine Mira saying that as she sees Jax. As, Swish,
Swish.
Definitely.
swish.
Swish.
Fuzzy.
Swish.
But
Meanwhile,
Del will activate at the moment he gets it.
Okay. It works flawlessly. I don't know what to tell.
What did he activate?
The comms jammer, preventing anyone in the cantina from sending a message out by any means.
It does not seem to affect Iris at all. But yes, any external communications are henceforth jammed until Dell shuts it down.
Are you kidding me? I have to wait an hour and now I can't even watch my shows?
That's okay. You have drinks and Iris to amuse you. And precisely an hour and 23 minutes passes from the moment that Sijorn left the table to his return.
I was
Precisely
gonna
an
go
hour and
drinking.
23 minutes.
Could Del have done a few shots with Ven? No, sorry, Viri.
I was gonna say if you can get convince her into drinking, by all means. But sure, I'm just telling y'all. Precisely an hour and 23 minutes will pass before Sijorn returns.
No, please. I can so outdrink you.
Oh, then I see it.
Hold on. Looks over at Van for permission.
Are we really doing a drinking contest right now?
It's not really a contest. It's more of one person showing up the other one.
No.
Hmm.
This is not a good time.
Sorry. She said no. Gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to get your ass whooped later.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, once this is done, you can do it after. I don't care.
Ah. Oh. Now just go back to this little Chinese puzzle I can never figure out. You know, like Cracker Barrel, when they have the little pyramid pegs. You know, I gotta try and move them, but you can never get one left. Yeah, hate
Yeah,
that game.
I know how to beat that game in real life. Not bragging. though.
I
Love it.
am just going to be sitting there. I don't really talk, so I'm good with fast forwarding whenever.
Yep. All right. So we'll go ahead and fast forward to such a time as Sijorn rejoins. Which, yes, it is precisely an hour and 23 minutes. Because I guarantee Viri's counting it down until she can.
23 minutes late. She didn't say that. Didn't say that out loud, but she's telling everyone else.
Right.
He comes striding back very quietly, super silent as he tends to do, with his hands again clasped behind his back. And he kind of pauses by the table. I've reached my decision.
All right.
I have thought long and hard about your offer. And you do have to realize that it is extremely dangerous for me to just up and leave without preparing first. So I will need a few weeks of time to start working my way out of Isaidus's clutches, because he has a very nasty habit of decimating his underlings if they have displeased him in some manner.
Yeah.
However, I am willing to share information with you in the meantime.
Is this an exchange? Do you want money? Or is this more a partnership? What are you thinking?
Money wouldn't be opposed. And credits, sorry. We're using space terms here. It would definitely make hiding for the first little bit easy. But He kind of like sort of looks at Iris as you do happen to have a connection to Iris, which he then sort of glances to Io. I am willing to do this more as a partnership, as actual paid employment.
Iris just has a smirk on her face.
He just has a scowl.
Let's see how much Mira transferred me, like a crap ton of money. Yeah.
It was 8 million.
8 million.
Jesus, I wish I could get that much.
Right? Yeah. I'll send
You
over.
want 8 million? I can transfer that.
I would. Well, if I already have it, don't I? Should she transfer it to me?
Yeah,
Oh,
she
okay, okay.
did that
Oh,
before
so-
she was drunk. I'm
Yeah,
not
okay.
even there anymore, so I can't
Um,
give anyone else 8 million because I'm not there.
Yeah, I'll just.
No, you've been grounded by your mother.
Mira is passed out in her hammock, face down, one leg hanging out.
Her hand on the enter button, sending 8 million, 8 million, 8 million, 8 million.
Yeah. It's like, oh no. I'll probably send maybe. I'll go half that. I'll do 4. Just because that's still a ton of money, correct? In case I'm reading this wrong.
Yeah.
And so I can keep a bit in case I need more leverage later. So yeah, I just like do it really casually.
So, can I ask a question, Sijorn?
If you must.
I think Ben would tell me I probably wouldn't have to, so I guess not then.
I don't know what she means. Sorry, I'm trying to get food right now. I'm being loud.
He said, if you must, and then Beer's like, I probably don't need to, so I guess not.
What's your question? Is it relevant?
Wait, who's asking that? Sijorn or Ben?
Ben is asking.
Ben?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it could be. It's more a little intrusive, though. Okay, and then she turns to Sijorn and is like, look, I'm going to ask anyway, because I'm curious. Because I have a vested interest. But you don't have to answer, because we're a partnership and a family here. And eventually we hope you can be welcome to the doors of the family, even if you don't want to be, but you have a family now. But anyways, that's kind of what the family is like with the Peachy Keen. It's kind of weird, but it's kind of cool at the same time. Anyways, so my question, that took a while to get to. The question is, are you looking to leave the Sith and walk away from the dark side? Or just Isaidus? You don't have to answer. I guess I'm curious to know if it is possible to leave the dark side.
It's just Isaidus right now.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, 'cause he's a douchebag, right? That's cool. Cool.
If Wraith could talk, she'd be like, oh, you have no idea.
Oh, how Terabyte and Wraith will have so much to talk about.
God, Wraith would be so sassy if she could talk.
Yeah, Barry looks a little down, but she's like, oh, that's cool. I get it. It's good for you. I think it's smart. But, if you ever do want to hear about the light side, Ben's a really good light side person. And, if you are curious about, learning more about your Force and Savior, she's more than happy to tell you about it. I mean,
Why
sorry,
do I
that was a
feel
little
like
fourth
Vanna
wall.
is just like pinching the bridge of her nose, like, oh lord.
Right? Yeah, that was hardcore fourth wall breaking. I love it.
I mean, I get it. Sith powers are super cool, but I mean, they always do end up losing to the light side at the end anyway. So, right? You know.
All right. Well, instead of
Hmm?
necessarily trying to, let's appreciate what we have here. Good thoughts, Viri.
I was just curious for Yara. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess maybe it would be good to figure out, yeah, why is it that you want to leave it? It truly is because he's losing his mind. Are you afraid he'll kill you at some point?
It's more. He's just not very stable, and I've seen multiple Sith Lords when they reach this point of instability. They're very easy to overthrow. And I don't really care to work for people that have let themselves grow that weak.
So who have you worked for others?
I have worked
I'm
for
assuming.
many.
I see. Revan, Malik, any of those?
I don't know if you worked for Revan. Not a lot of ones that you've probably heard about.
So ones that haven't had as much of an effect in the galaxy as a whole?
There's a lot of players in this game, and a lot of them keep to the shadows. They don't make big displays of power.
Would I know of this, Ange?
Which part?
Well, I don't know. The whole multiple ones essentially hiding in the shadows, you're saying? Kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the dark side is growing stronger, and there have been like sightings of Sith and stuff like that. So yeah, it's known. It's just not been viewed necessarily as a major imposing threat for now.
Okay. For Viri's sake, I will ask, have you seen many leave the order? With the dark side completely? Under Isaidus's time?
Not that I have personally witnessed. They don't usually tend to make it very far.
If they
But-
do, yeah.
But they do try, though, right?
Some have, yes.
Can you do lightning?
Yes.
You can do it too.
And just glances.
Sorry. I'm not used to like seeing other Jedi that aren't like Sith and Jedi Temple type, you know?
Here, I doubt you've even met many people. I don't like that.
Yeah, but they're not all like, oh, I do whatever walks on dark side, and you know, I've never met. Usually, we don't get to talk to dark side people.
Yes, they do tend to attack on sight. You're right.
So you're pretty cool in my book so far. Just don't try and kill me.
So
Sorry,
you're
what?
saying? Oh, sorry. I thought he was just silent, so I was gonna keep going. But if you wanted him to reply, that's fine.
No, he stays silent.
Yeah, on
I
better
just-
thought.
Any pause, I just assume it's like he just has nothing to say because I feel like
It's
He is.
basically true. It's like me thinking of saying say, and I'm like, no, he just doesn't say anything.
So you're saying he's reaching mental instability, you think, due to power? What exactly does that mean? I mean, I've had experience with Revan and Malik in the past and watching their rise and fall, but they never seemed as unstable as this.
He's looking for the Holy Grail, as he calls it. Technology that I do not believe actually exists, but he has become obsessed with it.
What does that mean? I don't think I've ever heard of that.
He wants to be immortal, basically, and is looking for a way to make himself immortal and improve his soldiers and followers to perhaps be equally as immortal, so that they can help build the kingdom for him.
Do you know what even type of technology that's supposed to be?
The only things that I've encountered that make a Sith immortal is when they become ghosts or spirits in the afterlife. And that's not a very viable form of immortality, because it keeps you locked to your tomb.
Yeah. So he thinks there's a different way.
I believe he does. And he's desperate to find it.
Is there a reason why he wants it so bad? At least that he's told you.
He has said nothing to me about that. And I have not asked, because I don't particularly care.
Right.
I was just like, oh damn.
Iris just kind of gives the slightest of sighs.
Do you know if he's working for someone else? I made an interesting observation the other day that the more he fails, the more anxious he seems. Desperate, yeah.
I don't know, DM has Sijorn noticed.
As far as Sijorn could tell, no, he's operating solely on independence. If anything, it's his vision that he's working for.
He's held hostage by his vision.
Just what he wants is just taking over.
Exactly.
Has he been messing around? Do you know if he's been messing around with any other older, darker type of artifacts or powers? We've already experienced one thing that was different.
If he has not done it around me or the others. He's done it in his private quarters or simply when no one else is around.
Have you ever had any, like, I guess they want to be dark dreams, but like dark dreams? Maybe because you're on the dark side. Do you have light dreams? Things that don't really happen but could happen? I'm very like looking like conspiracy theory, like one eye open, one eye twitching.
He just stares at her.
No? Oh yeah, me neither. I was curious. Just wasn't sure, you know.
My
Yeah,
life
that'd be
has been-
weird.
My life has been a dark dream. I don't dream when I sleep.
Oh, that's emo.
Iris just kind of
Emo
sighs
boy.
a bit louder at that point and rolls her eyes. And she just goes, oh, Sijorn, don't be so
space boy.
dramatic.
Emo hot space boy.
I know, right?
Oh, dear God.
I mean, getting into bed with her can't be that bad.
Maybe that is the dream.
Iris
She
is
kind of-
immediately blushing.
Oh boy.
But she just kind of looks at Sijorn with a finger and she goes, "Don't you dare answer that."
I was only going to tell her that there are things in my life that are private and not to be discussed.
Oh, sorry. Already discussed them.
And it's over now. So, have you ever heard of him being able to come into people's dreams?
That kind of makes Sijorn's head tilt a little bit. And like the most emotion you've seen on him yet comes in the form of his brows slightly furrowing as he thinks about it. It's all very minute displays of emotions with it.
Honestly, it sounds a lot like how Ben emotes. So they both
I know, right?
so their conversations are just like 2%
So
emotion.
deadpan. Everyone else is dying as it's just a super deadpan that's good as shit.
Like, wow, this is so monotone. Ben and Sijorn, like, this is so dramatic. Like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, like Ben's facial expression really hasn't changed. Like they've both just been so level.
Meanwhile, Io's face gone through a range of emotions.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he just thinks for a moment. No, I've not heard of him being able to do that. I didn't think he was capable of such a thing.
Yeah, I didn't either. But we got to experience it firsthand the other night, so apparently he is.
I lived a whole life. So did she. But then we killed him, and you killed Io. It's crazy.
It's at this point that Iris gives you a very confused look.
Then just was like, very the other one.
Yeah, it was a really weird dream I had. You know?
No, where Isaidus was in our heads talking to us.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, that one. So okay, so that happened twice.
He's just staring at Veery. And then
Brock
he
really starts to
gradually
eat the crackers.
just returns his gaze back to Ben. That is rather unprecedented information.
Do you have an apprentice or Padawan? What do you call a Padawan?
Apprentice?
Yeah, do you have an apprentice?
No.
Have you ever had one?
No.
Why not?
I do not care to.
Oh. Okay. Scared.
I feel like he's looking at her like prime reason number one.
Right?
Exactly.
This is why I will
And
never
this
have
is
an
why I'll
apprentice.
never have one.
Just add exhibit A.
It's like
Big
when
poster of Barry.
it's like when me and Mark will go to a family gathering where we have our
Mhm.
7 nieces and nephews under
Yup.
the age of 7, and we're just like,
You're like birth control.
yeah, this is why we're okay right now. All right, so you didn't know that was something he could do. Where is he getting this knowledge, though? Like, of this holy grail, even, of how to do what he did?
He found it on a Sith holocron. My guess is someone long ago tried to do the exact same thing and likely failed.
All right. Would make sense.
Or if they're immortal, maybe they actually succeeded, but then fake that they failed so that no one would know that they're real. Now they're
And there's Sijorn's dad. No, I was kidding.
Right?
So, how long have you been working for him?
How long has he? He just gives like sort of a light shrug. Not really caring to answer.
long enough.
Sorry, I'm eating.
Ben's just eating bar food.
So, like, what color is your lightsaber? Fury stepping into the silence.
Fury, you don't just ask those things.
Really?
It's like it's a taboo.
What? I'll tell him
wait
mine
and-
if you tell me yours.
You wait until they show it to you,
Oh.
even if they are about.
Oh boy.
And then she stands up. She goes, "Okay,
Or-
cool. I'll show you mine."
I was like, oh lord. So glad we're the only ones in the cantina right now.
She does like a little like cool lip catch, like stance, and then puts them away. Okay, can you show me yours now?
Iris kind of sighs when Io says that and looks at him and she goes, "Usually I like it to be just Sijorn and I when he arrives. This is why."
Oh, would you guys already be by now?
Don't just ask that. God.
The best part is, Sijorn didn't actually see the colors of her lightsaber.
Oh, and
That's
well,
true.
I mean,
Right?
they are
Nice
silver, so I
loophole.
mean, you're like white, so I guess there is no real color.
Oh, then I guess he saw that at least.
Right?
Yeah, these are bleeded crystals that aren't red anymore.
Fascinating.
Even the most unredeemable crystals always have a chance to be redeemed. She kind of like pointedly looks at Sijorn.
So obvious.
I love the
No chill
explanation.
whatsoever.
It is
He just-
100% a youth group kid.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Offending all their friends in school.
Yep.
He's just very impassively staring at her. Like, okay.
So, are you not going to show me yours? I showed you mine. No.
Very, this is a new alliance. We don't
Yeah,
press
I
him if he
think-
doesn't want to.
I'm not. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't have to. I just think it'd be really cool. Never seen one up close like that.
So, Sijorn, you don't want to say how long you've been working. Can you at least answer me this? Have you been working for him since before I kind of disappeared, or was it sometime after?
Sometime after.
Okay. Were you one of the first people he hired?
I do believe so.
Did he have like an original intention in the beginning when he first started hiring you? Or was it always this, what you said?
I don't know, DM.
Sorry.
I love it. No, you were doing great. Yeah, it at first centered on like proving himself to her, and now it's just become no, I must have.
Oh, okay.
Did you fight in the Sith and Jedi Mandalorian War too?
He doesn't deign to respond to that question.
I mean, I didn't. I was too young, but curious.
How long ago did that war happen, technically?
It happened like about 10 years ago, I think.
10 to 15 years ago, yeah.
Oh, so he'd have been like a wee teenager when it happened, I think.
Because
Yeah,
like
it's
Ven and Isaidus were
baby.
like 18, 19 when they went to go fight in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you
So-
said Fury was 4 when she was found in the war, right?
Yeah, she was a toddler.
I
If
only
it
was
was
Drea.
29.
If it was 10 years ago, Mira would have been 6. Fury's older than me.
Well, she said 15 though.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 is about when it ended. It started about 15 years ago.
Ah.
So Io and Sijorn were about 14 around then ish. 14 to 19.
Roughly. So it
Yeah,
is possible.
I could see his master sending him out on missions,
Definitely.
subterfuge assassinations. Oh, testing his skills.
So is he building more academies and things like that? I mean, they have the thing on Kashyyyk. It felt like there would be more.
Yes, he is building many more academies. He's attempting to build an empire after all.
Yeah, that still doesn't make sense to me. I don't know why he would think that would do anything. Hmm.
The reason he's been looking for force-sensitive people and tanking them is to install them in these academies, to train them and brainwash them into being his soldiers.
And why aren't you for that?
Pardon? Sorry.
Oh, I said, why aren't you for that?
I have my own reasons for doing things. And I do not care to discuss them with you yet.
Fair.
Ooh.
So he's planning at some point to try and take out, I would assume, everything. Then? The Jedi, the Republic.
I believe he will try to. But I will inevitably be his downfall.
Because he's so unhinged, or is there another reason?
He's unhinged, and he's
The light side
killing-
always wins.
He's killing multiples of the people that he's trying to get to work for him. And in my experience, that doesn't necessarily turn out very well. At some point, if you don't deal with him, then there will likely be his underlings will try to usurp him. Either
Yeah.
Yara or myself or one of the others.
He just coughs on her whiskey.
Yeah. She did mention that was in her plans. So.
Yeah, she was very upfront with her plans.
Mm-hmm.
That is one reason why I do not take on apprentice, because the Sith way is to kill your master, and I don't particularly care to die anytime soon.
Fury just looks over at Ben in shock.
I'll like glance over. I'll be like, "Oh, did I not mention that? I'm sorry. There's a lot to remember."
What?
Yeah, it's kind of the way of things there. It's sort of a mindset of the strongest survive, the weak should die off. It's kind of the
But
way
Jedi
Sith
believe that
operate.
too?
No.
Oh, you made it sound like you forgot to tell me it's part of the Jedi way too.
Oh, no. Well, you choked. I mean, you looked confused, so
Look, terrified that I'd have to kill you one day.
no. No.
Iris kind of chuckles at that and she goes, "No, the Sith believe in the strongest surviving. The Jedi, from what I'm able to ascertain, believe that there's strength in growing together. A unity of sorts."
Yeah, friendship, power of friendship. You guys not seen any of these space cartoons? It's like every time how they beat the bad guy.
My Little Space Pony.
Exactly.
God damn it, I knew you were going to go there.
Do you know when he might start? Did he have like a time he wanted to, I guess, start undermining things, start waging a war? Or is it still in the beginning stages? Too soon to say.
It's too soon. He has no set time frame, but he's currently building now.
Yeah. He's been productive.
It's could be a year before he actually makes any real headway. If he wasn't so obsessed with you, who knows where he would be at right now. So in a way, we have Ven to thank for him not making the progress.
I saved the galaxy by just being myself.
I just grins at Ven.
Iris just kind of sighs heavily and glances almost apologetically at Sijorn.
Oh, I did not do that in character. You kidding me? Ben would not do that. I just said that out of character.
No. She's reacting to what Io said.
Oh, okay.
She
Like,
gives
Ben
her
doing
kind
the
of,
lisp voice.
I know, Rory. But she does give Io this almost apologetic, Sijorn this almost apologetic look before she just kind of looks at you, Io, and she's fighting the urge to smile before she goes, "Really?"
Exactly, you know?
Just think about it.
He has a point. If he wasn't focused on her, maybe he could have put 110% into his empire and then made so much progress. You know, it's like when you're distracted while you're building something, you gotta put aside whatever's bugging you. So Ven is our ace in the hole. Whether she wanted to be or not.
Ven doesn't really have much expression. She just kind of like lifts a shoulder, like, you know, not gonna argue with that sort of look.
See, she agrees.
well, it's inevitable that we'll meet again at some point. It's just a matter of what that's going to look like.
Iris kind of speaks up at this point and gives Sijorn another glance before she looks at you, Ven, and she goes, well, considering he's already reached out to you all without knowing where you are and has been sending scouts to my planet, and here she kind of gives a pointed, like, warning look to Sijorn before looking back to you, Ven. She goes, I think it's inevitable much sooner rather than later than you had hoped.
Sijorn's like, what? I didn't do anything. But it's like just a look that only Iris knows.
Iris just kind of sighs, and even though like nobody else would understand the look that was given, all she says is, I'll elaborate later.
What? Elaborate about what?
I don't know, Fury.
I don't know. Everyone's just giving weird faces to each other. I don't know what's going on anymore.
Called the. I don't know what it's called.
Called to something. Iris just kind of chuckles and she goes, Sijorn and I understand each other, suffice to say.
Oh. Wink. Right, okay. I got you. We can leave you be if y'all are done.
So, does Isaidus have... What is his method for turning people? I mean, he's been taking Jedi and Padawans from the temple. Just trying to thin out numbers, I'm assuming?
He uses barbaric torture to convince them the dark side is stronger by providing examples.
Something new he must have picked up in his spare time.
And should they die, he uses that as proof that they were no match for the dark side. To him, it's more about the numbers than it is whether or not they actually survive. Needless to say, not many have really survived.
So, what do you know about Yara? Do you know if torture was needed for her, or was it a willing switch?
As far as I'm aware, she came willingly, but I haven't pried too much into that.
Okay. Do you know what he's doing on Nar Shaddaa right now? Some of his scouts have been sent here, and apparently he wanted us brought there.
I off the sigh gives a very heavy sigh. He's like, why does it always go back to Nar Shaddaa? As far as I'm aware, he's looking for you and your crew, and is planning to recruit you guys.
Planning to recruit us?
Probably thinks that if he converts your crewmates, that he can force you to join him.
She glances at Veery and says that sounds like a familiar scenario.
No input from Veery, huh?
Yeah, weird.
Mm.
He's muted though, so
It's because I'm on mute. I was like, singing everything. All right. Viri. Oh, what? Sorry. I was recording. I mean, I was writing notes. Yeah. Well, I think that's really good information, though. I mean, if he's so prideful, thinking that he can try and sway us over to his side, that'd be a way to infiltrate if we ever needed to get in to a certain base or get into where he is to find out what he's doing. Be dangerous, but it would probably work better that we're playing on his pride. If we ever felt we needed to do that.
I glance over at Sijorn and see what any input from his very vague facial expressions.
Sorry, I was trying to read some info.
Oh, you're good.
It just gives you nothing.
Yeah, sure, that's fine. Yeah, Ben will just say, I mean, I think at this point, weighing every option is important. So
I agree. Okay. Could I find a better one than coronavirus? But you get what I mean.
what?
I was trying to find a Trojan horse one, and then the only one I found was coronavirus. I was like, well, okay. That's not the best one, but you get what I mean.
For the plan.
Then is carnival. We all come in like a Trojan horse. I'm like, tell everybody. I mean, free everybody from the restraints of the dark side.
Sijorn, does he ever have any moments of lucidity or does that not happen anymore?
Does he cry? You can see why I was on
Not
mute.
that, not that I've noticed. It's pretty much insanity most of the time. And I think Yara has been the one who is pushing for the biggest amount.
Pushing him in that direction?
She's helping to drive his insanity with comments and actions, as Sith apprentices usually tend to do with their masters.
Not her though. She was always a follower. I don't get it.
Well,
And in
that's
such
what
a little time to have that much power over someone like Isaidus?
yeah. I mean, all of it seems strange to me too. The fast degrade of both of them. I mean, you seem to have kept your mind.
I am very stubborn about my free will. There have been people who have tried to break me many times over the course of my life, and I have fought to keep that from happening. So I am very good at keeping my sanity.
Well, clearly. So, out of character, Ange is like I do feel like as we're talking about this, like I do feel like this really fast like degrading of their personalities and sanity and all that stuff just seems to be really uncharacteristic. Unless I've seen that before and like as a character, but I'm just not aware of it right now.
From what you know, because you don't really necessarily know much from Yara, or about Yara, but from what Viri has said and your own knowledge of Sai, yeah, it is pretty rapid as far as you can tell. Like, at first, when you first separated from him, he was very, I like he was very respectful about your choice, but at the same time, very much certain, not pushy, but certain that you guys were going to get back together and have the life that you wanted. But it's only been recently, from what you've noticed in his, from coming out of hiding, that he's starting to go more and more insane. So something happened between that point,
Yeah.
and it
Okay.
seems to be rather rapid.
Okay. I mean, it could be that there really is something influencing, the both of them potentially. Something that you were involved with. Does Isaidus trust Yara more than he trusts you?
Good question.
I just sent it to you.
He trusts
Can
us
I really
equally.
be trust among Sith?
You garner more trust when you do as you're told, and you don't keep trying to mess up their plans and undermine them, which is the reason why I'm still alive.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I can't think of anything else that we might need unless you guys have thought of anything.
Do you want to spar?
Anything to
know-
the mission at hand first. But I mean, if you guys want to, I don't care.
Out of character, a sparring match between them would be so unequal with the massive
my
amounts of
God.
upgrades that Mirka gave her.
It's okay. Io and Beery versus Sijorn.
Yeah.
Lord.
In character. He just gives her another blank look. Like another little impassive look before looking over to Ben. I will say this. He has been hiring scientists and sending them out to look for whatever this Holy Grail is. So should you happen to find one of them, perhaps they could give you more information on the details of what they're looking for.
Oh boy.
Interesting.
Scientists.
Do you happen to know any names of them or anything?
Not offhand, but I can try to get a list.
That would be helpful. If it doesn't risk exposing you. Yeah. I mean, do what you need to.
Perhaps he'll get lucky and Isaidus will give him the list. Iotaan, hopefully.
Oh, my special positive boy.
Baby.
It's so grim. He just wants to brighten the mood.
Aw.
Again, I love how opposite the twins are.
It's beautiful. How much of the it's been obvious that recognized on site now.
You, they definitely recognize by sight. Because it was a long.
I'm not there.
Figured.
Is there a reason? Trying to think. Yeah, I guess it would be.
But us
Yeah.
two being the.
Okay.
And then I'm guessing he probably fought against Dell at some point, or fought with Dell. So
Me.
you knew who he was, right?
I mean, I recognize we may not even have been battling on the same planet.
I know they will Mira in their team, but I assume they have their own resources and knowledge. And they went to go fight. I can't imagine the mercenaries went to go fight would be that hard to
Right.
get either.
Yeah, I would imagine it would be. Easy access, all while avoiding him.
Perhaps, yes. He kind of like sort of looks towards Viri for a moment, almost thoughtful like as he stares at her.
She
And
was kind of like, huh? Okay.
Wraith just kind of sort of climbs up to like also stare at Viri over his shoulder.
Yeah, she's like trying her best to like stare away because it's awkward, and then it just kind of comes back and stares right back at him, and then it just kind of gets like a little weirded out with Wraith, but she's not breaking eye contact. It's a war of eye contact.
Just these like insectoid eyes staring at her. Hmm. He just kind of makes a little noise and then Wraith tucks back down behind his back.
You see Viri like visibly show a chill down her back.
Iris looks directly at Sijorn and just raises a brow while looking at him.
I was just curious. Yara had mentioned recruiting an old friend, but you don't look like the way she described.
What do you mean?
You don't have the right physical features.
What? You saying I'm ugly?
God damn it, Viri.
Viri, I think he's saying that it might be someone else.
You take that back. She's my best friend. If she wants to try and get someone over the dark side, it's gonna be me. What do you mean she's trying to get someone else over to the dark side? Ooh, he's here just unhinged, losing it.
Perhaps this is why she doesn't want to recruit you.
Oh, I don't like you anymore. She like crosses her hands.
You're vastly
Unless you tell me the description of this friend.
You're vastly too unpredictable. It would be far too much effort to try and convert you.
She looks over and winks. And that's why I am unpredictable. Almost as if she had control over her emotions this entire time. She like leans forward all innocently.
He completely ignores her.
Wait, hold on. What? But what are the descriptions of this other friend you're speaking of? Don't tell me it's that redheaded bitch.
I love hearing Veering rant.
Fury is
She
my
did.
favorite.
There was the word red that he used to describe her hair, yes.
Veery is in shock. A friend that she. Oh hell no! Veery just gets up and she just goes to the bar and starts taking shots, like mumbling to herself. Son of a bitch! Oh, are you fucking kidding me?
So offended.
No, if anyone's gonna be a Sith, I'm gonna be the Sith, not that one. Like it's just beyond logic now.
Veery becomes a Sith just to prove a point.
I mean, she 100% would in this exact moment, just prove the point.
Do you know if it was Isaidus that found Yara? Or I guess the one that hurt her in the first place?
Yes, he was. As far as I was told. Whether it's the truth, who knows with him.
Right. Well, I can't think of anything else to ask. This has been informative.
Sure, she said redhead.
It's very difficult to mistake the term redhead with silver hair with different shades of altering colors.
Well, I mean, do you like it though? I think it's a good look.
He just shrugs.
So, did she? When last time you saw her? Did she recruit someone with red hair? And probably a fucked up eye, thanks to me.
He looks like he's thinking before he shakes his head ever so marginally. She declined the offer.
She did.
Didn't care to take part in his plans.
Veery's like broken now. She doesn't get it. She's in EXE mode. Like, what? Or, how could someone say no to Yara? Or Fawn said no to Yara? Oh, how dare she? Like, She's mumbling again, walking away. She would. Prissy brat.
Ben's just
Sijorn
making
just
mental
watches
notes.
her go.
Ben's just making mental notes of this to address her at, to her at a later time.
Damn, Beery. I think you might need to kind of calm down just a little bit.
Me? Totally calm. I'm groovy, baby. Good to go. Nothing's bothering me. I could be a Sith if I wanted to. I could be a Jedi. I could get anybody who could want me to be in the group. I'm totally in the group. I'm cool. I'm fine. She just leaned up against the bar. And cool.
Ben just looks to Sijorn and she's like, excuse me for a minute. Get to know your brother, maybe. And look over
He
to
looks at
Beery.
Io. Io looks at him and there's just awkward silence.
Yeah, I go up to Beery and I'm like, hey.
She's
it's hard.
fixing her robes and standing up straight. And I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine, Ben. I'm great. Wonderful. And you?
Beery. This is shocking news.
What?
It's all right.
No. Nothing shocking. It's what we
Beery,
expected.
Clearly, you did not expect
Pose.
Orphala to be involved.
That. I'm. Or. That's. No. She's. We're good. Fine. She's holding onto a glass that breaks in her hand. She just
Convincing
reaches for the
yourself
next.
that you're not feeling emotions when you're clearly feeling emotions.
I am totally handling them fine.
I look
Nothing's
down at the
mental
broken glass
meshes.
and then look back at her.
You can meditate. With
Are you scared of what you're feeling right now? Is that you're fine?
She kind
You can
of
be
actually
angry.
looks at Ben for the first time. Not scared. Just I'm her gonna be mean. Not that brat Orphala. Let's go in there freaking got her killed. Totally. I mean, but then Orphala said
just
no.
watching the rat, whoa.
And again, Sijorn thinks this is why I don't have.
That's bullshit.
Iris is kind of glancing around from that scene, brief glances over to Dell, and then glancing at the hot space boys around her, going, well, this is going in a direction. She didn't say that, but that's just kind of the expression she has on her face. Just, well, this is going somewhere. I don't know where, but it's going somewhere.
She's standing there. She adjusts her robes again, and she downs the shot. And she goes, "I'm fine. See, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm great. I'm good to go. Why don't you two? Are you guys good now? Are you family? Are you gonna hug it out? Are we good? I think we're good. We're great. We're wonderful.
Are you gonna need to take some of your special vitamins later tonight to calm down?
No, I'm fine. I don't know why you guys are all freaking out about. Why are y'all acting weird? Y'all are acting weird right now.
Uh-huh.
Acting sus.
Fury, this is a cycle you tend to get into. And I would advise that you sit down and you think about how you feel, draw in on the force, and work through it right now.
That's what I'm
Ooh,
trying to
mom
do.
voice.
She kind of like leans over to them. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm not fighting anybody. I think I'm doing really good right now.
I'm not what?
I'm not fighting anybody, and there's no exploding horsepower coming out of me. I think I'm doing pretty good right now. But I'm working on it.
I think you're doing okay too. Seems like you're in denial a little bit. You just broke a glass. So, are you actually all
She
right?
like finally looks over for the first time. Oh. Yeah. She just
So-
sits down.
Sijorn's just kind of like looking at his gloved fingers and kind of like running his thumb across the tips of his fingers. There was more I was going to say, but after that outburst, I don't think I should.
Ven, since Fury sits down, like Ven will come over.
You see her meditating in the chair, though tapping her foot.
He just
I-
like raises an eyebrow at her. And Io actually has the same expression. It's like the same eyebrow quirks up.
It's like it's a good 10 seconds, but like as they're both looking at her, I'm fine, guys. These are twins.
Iris kind of looks between Sijorn and Io, and she has a smirk, and she goes, "Wow, I thought only Reeve and I did that."
Did what? What? I don't know what you're talking about.
She sighs and rolls her eyes, and she goes, "You'll figure it out eventually."
So, what was the other information you had? Is it about Yara?
Yes, from what I gathered from my own observations, this Orphala was trying to talk Yura out of helping Isaidus.
Sorry, go ahead.
She... It sounds like she was trying to convince her to not go down the path that she has gone down anyway.
Interesting. Is Orphala even alive right now?
Good question.
That you would know, I guess. I didn't know if Yara had killed her after she said no or anything.
I mean, you wouldn't be wrong to assume such a thing. But yes, as last I know, she was very much still alive and is doing her best to hamper his movement.
Interesting. She's still in Coruscant?
Perhaps. I haven't been keeping too many tabs on her.
Yeah. It's good information, though. Thank you.
He gives a little nod.
It's wrong information, but it's great information. It's fine. Just a little.
I was looking over
Correct.
and you're like, oh snap.
And then she probably catches Ben's glance. Sorry. Anyway. I am one with the Force. The Force is with me. I am one with the
You
Force. The Force
asshole.
is with me. I'm one with the Force. The Force is not with Orphala, but is with me.
Sijorn then just is kind of like looking at the bar thoughtfully, where Mira had been carried away from. And he looks back to them. There is one more bit of information that I can give you at this time.
Sorry, what did he say? I got a text. I missed it.
He said there's one more bit of information that he can give them at this time.
Oh, yeah.
There is a Twi'lek that Isaidus and Yura have essentially forced to work with them. And she has an interesting ability of being able to subdue force signatures. She has, from what I recall, similar skin tone to that Twi'lek girl that was carried out a short while ago.
Same, different age.
About her 30s. She's a very good hacker, which I assume made it very difficult for them to get their hands on her in the first place. But blackmail does wonders for keeping you working with people that you'd rather not.
Interesting. Do you know what they're blackmailing her with?
They've been threatening injury to her baby. I think they said her name was. He thinks for a moment. Yeah, I've heard Sai specifically say injuring her baby Mira.
Whiskey. Breaks another glass. I'll be right back. She goes to clean it up.
This is when Dell hasn't been. I'm pretty sure it's clear. Dell has a moment that he says mirror. He starts. You know how Juggernaut approached Deadpool in Deadpool 2?
When
Yeah.
Deadpool's like, I'm a big fan, and he like storms over to rip him in half. That walk.
I'm a big fan of how you're walking towards me with vicious intent. I don't mean right now. But yeah, he walks immediately over. What did you say? What
Sijorn
did
just kind of looks at him, and he's not at all intimidated. I said that they are keeping a Twi'lek hostage and blackmailing her with hurting her child if she tries anything.
the child's name?
Mira.
He looks over at Ven. Where are they keeping her?
The location has been undisclosed to me. Would you care if I tried to find it?
I mean, if you could, that'd be helpful.
Why the hell would he trust you so much, but not tell you anything?
Because I work in a different area than what Yura works in. So he only tells me what I need to know for me to do my job.
And you're no longer working for him, right?
I currently still am, because it's going to take a bit to make sure I can slip away. without ending up like everyone else here who has tried to escape him.
Will this be before or after we kill him?
Depends on how long it takes you to kill him.
Fen gives
is-
Dell
And he would never come anywhere near you lot. He's scared of you.
who?
Isaidus.
I doubt that very much.
If he really, really wanted to know where we were, he would have gotten the Twi'lek to find out where we were, and he would have come here right now.
I
Am I wrong?
doubt that.
Then he's doing something.
Sounds
Oh,
like
I'm
he's
right.
doing a lot of things.
He's scared because he knows he's not strong enough. He can't possibly take us all on.
Either
I've
way,
killed-
you gave your word that you would leave him to me. He is
I
my
promised you.
responsibility.
And I promised you, these are my exact words, so long as he doesn't threaten or try to kill one of ours, I will let you have him. He is threatening Mira.
Meanwhile, back on the ship.
Yeah, like Drea's like cuddled into Mira, snoring as well.
Yep, the scene just cuts to this adorable thing of this, blissfully ignorant Twi'lek girl curled up around Drea, snuggled in, both of them passed out. Just adorableness, back to the tension at the bar.
Little Zeke curled up around their heads.
Yes.
I know what you want to do, and I admire it. But it's hearing all of this, it's really testing me. It's really showing that he's just gone too far. This madness that he's talking about, if he's degrading at such a rate as he says, by the time we get to him, there won't be any remnants of the man you knew left. Just this power-hungry husk.
I'm aware that's a possibility. Yes. I am.
Don't.
I'm aware
sorry.
that's more of a possibility than the other.
In any case, Sijorn,
Hmm.
You're going to find us this location.
I
Alright.
do have to warn you, this Twi'lek has the abilities to disrupt the Force. And
Yeah, what did
suppress
that-
it. And
Okay.
something is hiding you guys, from his ability to find you. Something is blocking your force signatures, and that's why he has her. He's trying to find a way to use her to block whatever is hiding you guys so that he can find you. So the closer you get to her, the more likely you are to have that protection suddenly taken away from you.
Well, yeah, we're shielding ourselves. Oh. Of course he can't find us.
Are you shielding Dell? Are you shielding that Twi'lek that's with you?
Think so?
Are you shielding my brother?
It's like looking over at Ben.
I mean, I would have to ask the DM. I thought we figured out how to do that. We're doing that like basically all the time.
Or are we
I
only
was sitting
shielding
there like,
ourselves?
I was like, I really don't know how to shield myself. Oh my god, I'm useless. He looks at his cool brother.
Yeah,
Like
and,
even
we're-
I am providing Lucy with the information for Sijorn to relay to you guys.
Oh.
What you guys are doing is active force shielding. What's hiding all of you from him is something that is inactive. So I do not believe it is something done by any of the crew on the ship.
You're saying it's a force ability.
Honestly, I'm not too sure, but it's important, I think, to try and not screw up whatever it is if you desire to confront him when you're ready.